What's going on, guys? Welcome back to RonMan Gaming. RonMan here as always, and today we're taking a look at Chuck Rock for the Super Nintendo. Chuck Rock is a side-scrolling action platformer developed by Core Design and originally published for the Amiga in 1991. Chuck Rock was then ported to multiple other platforms, including the Super Nintendo, which of course is the version I'm reviewing. For those of you who don't know, I did a video a while back about Super Nintendo games that I hate, and well, Chuck Rock was on the list. So I figured I would review this game and analyze it more critically. Chuck Rock is a caveman, and the game takes place in the prehistoric age. The story is, well, he's trying to save his girlfriend. That's it. There are a total of 5 levels, all with several stages. The objective is always to walk to the right. Chuck Rock can defend himself in 3 ways. The main attack is what I call a belly bump, which has really short range. This is done by pressing Y while on the ground. While in the air, instead of the belly bump, Chuck Rock will kick, which also has short range. Lastly, Chuck Rock can chuck rocks. Huh. Clever. Throughout the levels, you'll collect health refills which come in the form of hearts, and different foods, all of which just add to your overall points. One neat touch is that each stage has its own food. The points, however, are completely worthless. There's actually no reason to collect food other than trying to top your previous score. Well, like, who does that? The level design in Chuck Rock is largely weak. There are some pretty tight jumps and the occasional leap of faith. Oftentimes you'll jump off a ledge just to land on an enemy below. Because of this, it's best to take this game slow. I mean, you don't have to go too slow, but you know, don't rush through it. Though the objective is to walk to the right, the levels are big enough to explore, but the only thing you'll find is food, and seeing as how food amounts to nothing and you can't find 1-ups, it's best to just head to the right while trying to take as little damage as possible. Now, I just think this was a huge missed opportunity. If you're gonna make big sprawling levels, make them worth exploring. Have bonus rooms, or branching paths, or multiple exits, or hidden power-ups or 1-ups. Heck, even if they just made the points worth something like free lives, that alone would have been enough. Plenty of action platformers that came before Chuck Rock did those things. So why not Chuck Rock? Enemy behavior is frantic and their placement is sporadic, meaning that predicting their movements is almost impossible. They jump out from behind objects in the foreground, they fly from off screen and hit you before you can react. Sometimes they're just too high or too low to hit with your belly, and oftentimes, chucking rocks is just a fucking disaster. Chuck will throw rocks in an arc, so this is his long-range attack, but if an enemy is moving quickly towards you, you're fucked. Your options are either throw the rock and miss, then take damage, or gently place the rock back down, then take damage. I would avoid using rocks, although sometimes it's necessary, but the kick and belly jump are almost just as fucking useless because of how short the fucking range is. On the other hand, the bosses are the opposite. They're extremely predictable. There's practically no sophistication with their patterns, so beating them is a breeze. In terms of difficulty, Chuck Rock lies somewhere in the middle. The biggest problem is that you're not equipped to deal with the frantic enemies, and it's made worse by the fact that you only have 3 lives, no continues, and no opportunity to gain lives. In this game's defense, you do have a pretty generous health bar, and heart pickups are frequent enough, but that still doesn't alleviate the frustration completely. The graphics in Chuck Rock are actually pretty well done. Each level is vibrant and colorful with nice backgrounds and tasty looking food. Most enemies are also a joy to look at. Most, not all. I see a lot of people online who seem to really enjoy the music of Chuck Rock, but I don't know, I don't particularly like it that much. Maybe it just needs to grow on me, but I don't think I'll play this game enough to get to that point. Now, I had mentioned that this game is featured in my most hated Super Nintendo games video, so I've hated this game since I was 13. My dad took my brother and me to the game store, and I thought Chuck Rock was actually Joe and Mac, so needless to say, I was pretty disappointed. I thought the music and the level design sucked back then, but my biggest problem was with Chuck Rock the character. I didn't want to play as some fat, smelly goof of a caveman who screams like a loser when taking damage. I hated that you attack with your gut and kick with your dirty, stinky-ass foot. I was used to playing as cool characters like Mega Man or Simon Belmont, even Joe and Mac are cool. So to play as Chuck Rock just kind of felt like a downgrade. As a kid, I was super disappointed. I mean, who's gonna look at this cover and say, ooh, I can't wait to suspend disbelief and play as this guy? Now, this doesn't bother me as an adult, and I know that part of the appeal of this game is that Chuck Rock is a bit of a slapstick buffoon with poor hygiene, but I don't know, I still don't love him as a character. So now that I've mentioned all that negative stuff, I do admit that my hatred for the game and its objective quality don't match. As a 13-year-old, I would have given this game a 1 out of 10, but you know, that wouldn't actually be fair. As an adult, though, who's reviewed this game critically, I give Chuck Rock a 5 out of 10. A 5 is right in the middle. It's not bad, it's not good. Chuck Rock doesn't offend, nor excite. It's just a plain old boring caveman game. From what I can understand, all the different ports of Chuck Rock range in quality, so I'm curious to see how all the other versions hold up. Guys, I want to know your opinion of Chuck Rock. Leave it in the comments. If you like this video, please hit like, and if you're new here, please subscribe, and I will see you next time.